This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. I've been using Anchor as my podcast host for a while now, and it's been a pleasure to use. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part, and you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Monday, December 5th, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From BBC News, South African president won't resign despite scandal. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has said through his spokesman that he will not resign, despite an ongoing scandal related to a bunch of cash that was reportedly stolen from a game farm he owns. The scandal is a bit jumbled, but about a month before President Ramaphosa's party was scheduled to officially choose its candidate for the country's 2024 presidential elections, and he was the clear favorite to lead that selection contest, his former spy chief accused him of money laundering, corruption, and covering up the theft of a large amount of foreign cash. This former spy chief said that at least $4 million was stolen from the president's game farm in early 2020, the money stashed inside furniture. And that led to an investigation into how the president had so much money in foreign currency and why he hadn't reported it. The president said he was paid the money in exchange for cattle, but not many people are buying that story, and it seems weird that he was basically keeping a huge amount of money hidden inside couch cushions, though he contends it was closer to $500,000, not $4 million. This scandal has brought Ramaphosa's fitness to hold office into official question and could even lead to his impeachment. From Reuters, G7 coalition agrees on $60 per barrel price cap for Russian oil. The group of 7 wealthy nations, the EU and Australia, have agreed on a price cap of $60 per barrel for Russian seaborne crude oil, following several rounds of negotiations and a fair bit of foot-dragging by Poland. This deal has been in the works for a while now, and it's meant to hit Russia in the pocketbook, limiting the amount of profits they can make on their main source of revenue without completely removing such oil from the global market, which could cause a supply and consequent energy crisis. The price cap will come into effect sometime within the next few days, and Russia has threatened to stop supplying oil to any nation that endorses or adheres to this cap. And from the Associated Press, Pentagon debuts its new stealth bomber, the B-21 Raider. The United States military has made public its newest stealth bomber aircraft, the B-21 Raider, which looks a lot like the earlier B-2 bomber on the outside, but which has far more modern innards. This new model is meant to help modernize the U.S. nuclear triad, which is composed of nukes in silos, nukes in submarines, and nukes carried by these sorts of aircraft. And it's being deployed now to help the military pivot from an anti-terrorism stance to a countering China stance, preparing for a very different sort of conflict with a very different potential rival. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts, at understandery.com.